Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming my foundation routine video. I had filmed this video last week and it was like 35 minutes long. And that was partially because I talked about skincare in it too at the end. So this time I'm going to be refilming it and I'm going to do a different video on skincare. And my skin is very dry, so this is for my dry skin. But I do have a very oily patch right here. So I'll show you how I deal with that. And today I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics CC cream. It's just very easy. This is what I typically do. No, I use this probably like, I don't know, 40% of the time. And when I'm not, I always use my MAC Pro Longwear and L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur. This does not have good staying power, so I always mix it with one of these two. And I usually will mix like a grain of rice size amount of this Josie Maran liquid highlighter. But today I'm going to be using that. And even though I use that foundation more, the way I apply it is still the same. And if you're wondering what how much I use of that one, so I use a grain of rice of this, a pump of this, and like a less than a pea size of this. So I try to do it 1 part this to 2 parts this. That's how I feel. That's like the combination I feel works the best. So we're not using that today, so I'll just shut up about it. I've already cleansed and moisturized my skin, and I use my Cetaphil moisturizing cream. I just like the way that it sits over the top of, or underneath the foundation. So yeah, and I'm going to show you a dirty brush, so don't get grossed out, okay? So this is my Sedona Lace 602. I'm going to be using this. My favorite, I love all of these kabuki brushes. My favorite though is the 520, which is like the flat angled one. This one's too dirty because, you know, your foundation looks better when you have a cleaner brush. That's just because your brush is not all gucked up. Okay, stop with the talking. Gotcha. So I always just put a pump on my finger like that, and then I'll just go like this. Let's put this back. And then I'll kind of just smear it around with my finger. And I never put my foundation directly onto my sponge or my brush because I feel like it soaks up more and it gets the sponge or the brush gucky, and I don't get as good of an application when I do it like this. Okay, stop. And then I'm going to spray my MAC Mineralized Charge Water. Fix Plus works the same. Then I just take my brush, and pat. And do you see, I was talking in my favorites video about how this has a green tinge. Can you see it on camera? But I feel like after my powder's on and it's blended in, you can't tell. So, and it really helps with my redness, because I am very red, as you can see. And my lights are actually helping, because I am a lot more red than you can see on camera. So and as I told you that I moisturize my skin, I do not use primers usually because I feel like they just make my foundation look more cakey. I've never found a primer that I love. I just haven't, and I've tried a lot of them. So can you see how it looks like a little bit too dark and yellow for my skin? For some reason, that's kind of why I didn't like the shade to begin with. But after I put on my bronzer and highlighter and powder, it blends fine. So, but this really helps the redness, and yeah. So that's basically what I do for my foundation. And for my concealer, I always put my eyeshadow primer on first because I go over my eyes with concealer because I have a lot of discoloration, and I always put primer over my eyebrows to hold them on. Oops, and I forgot to put my eye cream on today because this wouldn't be my kind of video without forgetting something, right? Right. But I've been using the First Aid Beauty Triple Eye Duty Triple Remedy. Looks like this. I really like this. I've heard it makes some people under eye drier. I don't have like a super dry under eye, but it's dry. Like everybody's under eye. But I don't find that's the case with mine, so. Okay, so for my concealer, my Old Faithful, I'm going to be using Rimmel Match Perfection. My color is in 125 Fair. I love this one. I just find that it looks the best underneath my eyes. I also like MAC Pro Longwear. What's some that I don't like so that I can give you? I don't like NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. It looks super cakey underneath my eyes and I don't like that. And even on my blemishes, like around my face, maybe because I'm dry, I don't know, but it just, I couldn't, no. But I have 2 of them in my kit and they look really good on some people, but on, you know. And I know that seems like it's excessive amount of concealer, but this is really nice and pigmented, so I only squeeze my brush once, as you can tell. And then I go in with my MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose, and then I just do like a little flick, oops, on both sides. Then I take my finger, and then I'll put it on my eyelid, like the excess, you could feel it. Like that. Oh, this side has more. And then I just kind of even it out. I am so bad. I use too much of everything. Like, not just makeup, just everything. That's my life. Too much of everything. So, that's how I kind of like it. I know that my hands are moisturized and clean, but I know that a lot of people don't like to tug on their eye, and I don't feel like it's really tugging. I'm not like pressing hard, which is hard enough to blend my concealer. And a lot of times I'll use my brush, like if I want to put my makeup on quickly or at work, I'll just use my brush so I don't have to worry about my beauty blender. But I feel like this helps it blend better, and for my dry eyelids this makes it look better. So this is my weapon of choice for blending my concealer. So that's what it looks like. And so I'm going to take my same concealer, my Rimmel one, and I'm going to conceal spots where I need it. And then since I like, obviously the point of concealer is to cover things, and I feel like the brush gives me better coverage. So that's why I use my brush like for this. And the reason I use my concealer right there is because later on in the day, if I get hot or anything, this turns super red. All right here. That's the same reason I put foundation underneath my chin, because if I get hot or something, the redness won't show so much through my face makeup, but then like I have like this red beard. So that's why I put makeup right there, in case you were curious. It also helps blend, yes, but it's not really what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna put it in a couple other places. My red nose. And then I have like this weird bruise looking thing that I've always had as like a birthmark. It's right in the middle of my forehead, so that's super fun. Yeah. And then I use my beauty blender around my nose because, well, if I'm using it that day, because it's drier right there, and I feel like the beauty blender helps more than the brush. Okay, so that is the foundation and concealer portion of this video. Then I'm going to go in with, where's my brush? This is my under eye setting brush. This is from Walmart. It comes in a pack. I'm not sure if they still make it. I got it a while ago. I love this brush. It's really similar to the Real Techniques one. Even they even feel similar, like the bristles. But I don't know what it is I like more about this brush, but they work the same. So if you can't find this one, that one's good too. Then I'm going to go in with Anastasia Highlight Powder in Vanilla and MAC Emphasize. And I know a lot of people like to tap like this, and I'll do that after, but initially when I put my powder on, I like to like gently swipe it. I just feel like that's how it looks the best, and then after I'll dab. But I know a lot of people, that's like, they say that your concealer will move and all kinds of stuff, but I feel like if I pat it like that, my powder doesn't look as smooth when you first go in. So, and I don't have a problem with my concealer or foundation moving. That's just me. I know. But yeah. Oops, I forgot my powders. And then today I'm going to be using, so remember I talked in my favorites video about MAC Blot, even though I'm dry, but my little oily patch right here. I always put this because it is so good at controlling oil, and it lasts forever because I only put it right there. But then this is also good at controlling oil, and this is Coty Airspun. And I love this. It smells, I think they sell an unscented version. I don't have that one. I don't know why I didn't buy that one, but I should have. Sorry, I'm getting a puff. But I love this powder. And I'm gonna be using my Laura Mercier sponge, and it looks disgusting, but I wash it, and I wash it every time I wash my brushes. It's just looks like that. And it comes with a little puff already, but I don't like this weird, it's like really furry puff. And I just put my sponge on there, and then I kind of like to even it out, to make sure I get product evenly to my face, I'll just like dab it like that, and then I'll go in and pat it. And I really like my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish too. I just don't have very much of it. I need a new one, so. But I love the way the finish of that looks. And if you want a little bit more coverage over your foundation, that adds more coverage than this. It doesn't add any coverage. Okay. So that's the powder. And I'm going to do contour and highlight how I do it like for every day, and bronze. So I typically contour first. I know some people like to bronze their face first. I don't do that, but I like to use NYX Taupe blush. This is a really nice contour. It's very like cool toned, but sometimes like when I'm super fair, it can look gray. I don't know what it is, but like with some of my powders and foundation, it oxidizes and it looks like grayness, which it's really good to have your contour be cool, because that's what it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to mimic the shadows on your face, but not straight up gray. Okay, so I like to mix it with my MAC. This is a pro, you can get it online. It's Bone Beige sculpting powder. And I just do once in it like that and once in my MAC one. And then I go right here. I don't typically like a really strong contour for every day. That's just me. I know girls that like to walk around fully contoured, and that's cool, but every day, that ain't really my thing, so. Okay, and for bronzer, I'm going to be using a Cargo matte bronzer in medium. This is not the waterproof one. I meant to get the waterproof one, and I got this one. And a beauty control brush. I don't know, I've talked about this I think before. It is synthetic, and it is dense, and it is soft, and I love it. It's a little bit jiggly, the handle, like barely. You know how some brushes come like that? This is such a good brush, though. I like it a lot. And I don't know where you can get it from, because Amanda gave it to me. But I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. And if I'm doing like a full-on contour highlighting video, I'll typically highlight my forehead, because you see how my forehead looks darker than the rest of my face? That's just because I highlight under my eyes and not my forehead. But I'm going to put my bangs down today, so that's not necessary. I feel like since I didn't use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, I look darker. But, oh well. And then I put blush on. The blush I will be using today, let's try a new one, shall we? Not my one that I use every day. Decisions. Let's try this one. I haven't used this one in a while. Have I ever used this one? Pampered. I think this came in a set from QVC. This is Tarte Amazonian Clay Brush and Pampered. And a Sonia Kashuk round brush. And I just like to start right here and just put the bulk of the product right there. Not all the way back and not all the way forward, but kind of blend it into my contour. Since it goes at an angle, you can make it blend. And then I'll kind of just sweep it all over like this, just to blend it out and to put the color everywhere, but not a lot of color, you know. So yeah. Yeah, I like that blush. I'd hope, since I have it in my thing. And then for my highlight, I always use my MAC Emphasize powder, and this is an e.l.f. taper brush. I love this tapered brush more than I love any other taper brush I have. And I always start with this one just so that I can really like push it into my skin with the brush. Like I do this, and I know a lot of people, they say don't do that. I don't have a problem with it. Nothing moves around. The brush is soft enough, and I'm not like scrubbing it. But I like the way that looks better. And then I'll put some right here just to lighten up my forehead, because I know you guys, I'm going to get comments about my forehead's darker. I did get a sunburn the other day on it, and then, so that's like my very subtle highlight. And I always will go in with a different one. This is Physicians Formula Natural Nude. It looks like, the packaging looks like that. And I like to go like in the lighter section and then like just dab it lightly in the darker one. And I just put it right there, and I'll blend it into my other highlighter. And then I always do this. I don't understand. One of my friends saw me putting on my makeup, and she was like, why do you do that? I don't like my highlighter to be super like, this is where my highlighter goes, you know? I've seen girls do that. I've done it myself. I don't like that. I like for it to blend in. So that's why I do that. I don't push hard or anything, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to do my eyes. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I don't know why I had to come back on camera after. I don't know. This is my kind of go to work, school, whatever kind of look. I don't wear false eyelashes or winged liner usually on an everyday basis. I'm not very glamorous. I'm a real girl. Real person. I will say that my favorite lip combination has been the Rimmel Exaggerate Lip Liner in East End Snob. I spoke about this in my favorites video about how I don't have a natural lip line, how it just fades into nothing. This really helps. And the L'Oreal Color Riche in Rose Taffeta. Are these still available? I hope so, because I like this. I really like this. I throw it in my purse, and since I have such long days, it's very comfortable to wear. And I really like the color. Don't really like the smell. I don't really like scented lip stuff. But yeah, I will be making my skincare video for dry skin. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.